Thank you for joining us for this look at the best original reporting from KPBS News this week. I'm John Carroll. We're going to start with something on the minds of so many of us this weekend, paying the rent. An added layer of anxiety is out there as a freeze on no-fault evictions comes to an end. As Jacob Air reports, a group of neighbors in Linda Vista say they'll need more help to stay where they are.
Tenant power! Tenant power! Tenant power!
Belinda Ward is one of dozens of tenants from the Casa Linda apartments who rallied in front of the complex Thursday morning.
I pay my rent on time every month. I've lived here for over 2 years. I love living here. I want to stay here.
Her complex has a new landlord, UIP Linda Vista LLC, which bought Casa Linda in July. The company wants to remodel. Ward and the other tenants were told to leave their homes by the end of the year. She was homeless before and is scared of being homeless again.
I have a one-bedroom apartment full of things, full of my memories, my things. And I've been slowly going through them, trying to figure out what memories to throw away. In case I can't find a place, what can I fit in my car?
Angel Gonzalez has been at Casa Linda for 10 years. He says it's much more affordable than other similar offerings on the housing market, but says the new owner created health and safety issues at their homes, including asbestos exposure.
Without telling anybody, they just came over and started doing the demolition on the outside and on the inside of the empty apartments. It's evil. This is totally evil, doing something like that just to kick people out.
KPBS reached out to UIP Linda Vista LLC. We got a statement back saying, the property was acquired less than 1 month ago, and we plan to make improvements. No tenant is being evicted to make renovations, nor will there be an attempt to do so in the future. To minimize inconvenience to those tenants who voluntarily wish to move, we've offered relocation assistance. We apologize for any miscommunication suggesting otherwise. The Casa Linda residents and the tenants' right group, ACE San Diego, are demanding that the San Diego City Attorney finalize new permanent no-fault eviction protections. They're also asking City Council and Mayor Gloria to pass those protections immediately to prevent tenants from falling into homelessness. Jacob Air, KPBS News.
This Monday, county supervisors and the San Diego City Council will hold their first joint meeting in decades. The topic will be affordable housing. We have more coverage, including Jacob Air's report on how the end of no-fault eviction protections might affect the immigrant community in City Heights. You can stream it on the KPBS YouTube page. And homelessness is the focus of this week's Roundtable podcast, including the back and forth between Bill Walton and Todd Gloria on the role of enforcement. You can find it all on all podcast platforms and at kpbs.org. The past couple of weeks, we've seen more deaths inside our jails. At now more than a dozen this year, 2022 is shaping up to become the deadliest on record. Tanya Thorne reconnected with those who've been calling for answers long before reaching this point.
Outside the steps of San Diego's Hall of Justice, advocates continue to demand accountability for the in-custody deaths that have seen an uptick this year.
Another month more in-custody deaths. And even now, disputes about how many people have died in jail, 17, 18, 19. We have a record for this year, any number you want.
That's Dr. Darwin Fishman with the Racial Justice Coalition of San Diego. He says that as the number of in-custody deaths goes up, the San Diego County Sheriff's Department is looking for excuses. The Sheriff's Department says there have been 17 in-custody deaths this year, but they are not counting an inmate who'd gotten compassionate release to a local hospital.
We're definitely really worried that as the in-custody death rates go up and it looks more embarrassing to the Sheriff's Department, that they will find ways to cover up these deaths and try to explain them away.
Fishman criticized the San Diego County Citizens Law Enforcement Review Board, or CLERB, for not doing enough to hold law enforcement accountable for the deaths. CLERB looks at the deaths from an independent perspective to see if the death could have been prevented.
We had a history of not being timely and dropping the ball, quite frankly, several years ago.
Paul Parker is the executive officer of CLERB. He says he is pushing to be more proactive as in-custody deaths continue to rise.
You know, we can say all day long that the deputies did everything fine, but maybe there's something else that could have been done differently to prevent the deaths from that perspective.
Parker says that right now, CLERB doesn't have jurisdiction over the records of the medical services provided to a person in distress.
we're really only getting half of the story, right? We really can't look to see if the medical services providers did what they were supposed to do, acted in a timely fashion, administered the correct medications, took the proper steps when identifying a medical situation.
He is advocating for access to the medical service records, as well as cracking down on drugs getting into jail facilities. Tanya Thorne, KPBS News.
It's election season, and the wild card this year is how the reversal of Roe v. Wade will motivate voters. Kitty Alvarado visited Temecula this week, where the town, just north of San Diego, is dealing with its own heated debate on abortion access.
Keep your religion out of our government.
People descended on Temecula City Hall Tuesday, some to protest and others to support a proposal to declare the city a sanctuary for the unborn.
Folks like you guys are looking at us going, you just want to say never, and a lot of folks on our side go, you guys just want to murder babies.
The proposal came from council member Jessica Alexander, who held up a model of a fetus as she explained the resolution.
But do we stand for death here in our city? And guess what? We're going to have to, at some point in time, meet our Maker, whether or not you're Christian or not, and believe in Jesus Christ. We're going to have to meet our Maker and say that we either chose to stand with him or against him, because these babies are his. No, shame on you.
The council voted 4-1 against putting the sanctuary resolution on a future agenda.
I didn't want to place it on the agenda also because it was not clear.
Marianne Edwards is the longest serving member on the council. She said she's made her pro-life stance clear, but the majority of the public comment was against Alexander's proposal.
You have to listen to the residents. And clearly we had 84% of the emails that we received were opposed to having it on the agenda. So I think that speaks volumes.
Mayor Matt Ron says the proposal failed because it lacked clarity. And he said there's a problem with how resolutions are presented in council meetings.
I could propose anything I want to, but it doesn't mean that we have the authority to work in that space. And without having that information from a city attorney or some more rigorous review, it's hard to have a conversation about any of it.
And that, he says, could have put the city in legal jeopardy. State Attorney General Rob Bonta threatened legal action if the council tries to limit reproductive choice.
All we have here are the comments of Council Member Alexander.
That's legal analyst Dan Eaton. He says without a written resolution, he can't determine if there's a conflict with state law.
We really will have to look at the particular proposal if it ever gets to that point.
Ron also had questions about a potential conflict of interest because Alexander is the director of Birth Choice, a pregnancy crisis clinic.
A general proposal that could have some broad effect on the industry in which she works probably wouldn't constitute a conflict of interest. But if there's some financial benefit to her employer, that raises a different issue.
For Temecula resident Brandy Kakoa, it's less about legalities and more about the city being turned into a spectacle.
It was a complete circus.
She said she was disappointed that Ron called out the media and the state attorney general about their response to the proposal, but didn't call out the resolution itself.
They dip and then they dodge and they try to place blame. And I hope best for our city. I hope that we can do better than this and move forward past this, because it was just an embarrassment tonight.
And that's one thing she and Ron can agree on.
What happens next is our community does need to heal.
Kitty Alvarado, KPBS News.
A warning, this next story has some graphic images, but it's also an example of how one local police department is holding its members accountable over use of force. KPBS investigative reporter Claire Tregesser tells us about the changes happening in Carlsbad.
On a Saturday night in April 2021, Carlsbad police officer Jordan Walker was searching for a stolen Kia SUV.
It's a stolen rental car.
He headed to an area of town near the I-5 known as a hotspot for crime. Walker spotted the car. It was being driven by a woman with a male passenger. He pulled them over and asked them to get out of the car.
Driver! Step out of the vehicle, put your hands in the air.
The driver refused, but the passenger listened. But when they tried to handcuff him, he fought back. So officers took him to the ground and punched him repeatedly. Corporal Derek Harvey fired a beanbag gun to puncture a hole in the car's rear window. Then Officer Edward Ramirez fired pepper balls at the woman, 57 rounds in all, while she was in the car.
I can probably get some pepper ball through that driver's side.
And after she jumped out and began to run. Officers ended up tackling and arresting her inside a nearby hotel. As far as police use of force incidents go, this one was not all that unusual. But the actions by the Carlsbad Police Department following the incident were. The department disciplined the officers, even though there were no complaints from the public.
Officer Ramirez, he deployed multiple rounds of the pepper ball gun.
I'm going to deploy pepper ball.
Christy Calderwood is Carlsbad's assistant police chief.
He was definitely out of compliance because she had not shown violent actions.
The department also faulted the supervisor, Sergeant Morgan Griggs, for not de-escalating the situation, and the high-ranking watch commander, Lieutenant Greg White, for not showing up at all.
Which was very concerning for us, and he ended up leaving the force shortly after that.
This level of discipline is not typical. Just 3% of local officers who used enough force to cause severe injury received any discipline. That's according to a KPBS analysis of local incidents since 2000. In Carlsbad, the department also created new training and reached out to community groups for input on a new de-escalation policy, including the North County Equity and Justice Coalition. Yusuf Miller is the co-founder.
It was a really easy and smooth process. I really enjoyed it. We were understood by the police department. They were understood by us, and it moved along without a lot of the contention you see in other meetings. People ready to throw shoes and books at each other and all this kind of stuff.
The Carlsbad Equity Coalition has also seen police improve their attitudes. Allie Vrendenberg is president.
There's this more moral responsibility to protect everyone that they can. And so it's creating this mindset of reducing harm to everyone and having a reverence for human life.
What's his name? George Floyd! What's his name? George Floyd!
Still, Miller says none of this would be happening without the killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police.
Before George Floyd, we only got 3 answers when it came to discussions like this. Only 3 answers. No, no, and hell no.
He says the fire of the summer of 2020 led to the calmer discussions happening today. Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.
That story by Claire was one of our most read this week at kpbs.org. Here are some others. As we mentioned earlier, Bill Walton's comments on homelessness continues to be a talker. Also, a new county program is promising help for middle-income homebuyers and renters. And local scientists are trying to learn about an underwater chemical dump. That story is coming up. The hurricane that hit Florida this week is the latest example of our changing climate. KPBS education reporter M.G. Perez met some of the young people playing their own small part in a global day of action.
What do we want? Climate justice!
On the streets of Chula Vista, high school students march with their messages, demanding cleaner air and no fossil fuels, right alongside college and graduate students, too. They all want solutions to global warming and not more problems.
Our history has been washed and watered down.
22-year-old Priscilla La Chapa is a community college student and this year's Miss Kumeyaay Nation. She has plenty to say about the climate crisis and how it affects her community on the Rincon Reservation.
Our riverbed plants, our mountain plants are not able to survive because it's too hot up in the mountains and it's too dry down by the riverbeds.
The protest signs repeat what the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration reported this year. North America had its warmest summer ever.
We want policy, not empty promises. We want
That was enough to bring even more students to Waterfront Park in downtown San Diego this afternoon. They want the attention of local and international lawmakers. In other words, the adults in charge of making change.
We have set up a world that they're going to inherit the most negative impacts of climate change. So their voices need to be centered on these issues so we can protect their futures.
As discouraging as global warming statistics might be, this is not a death march. Organizers say the situation is serious. It is not hopeless. Many of these students are putting their education where their mouths are.
We have so many youth like here today who are advocating and making sure that this will be an issue that we talk about and that we make sure is declared as an emergency and not just seen as like a passerby.
Along with the hope and the hollering, there is also creative thinking among this younger generation.
Eat more crickets! And there you have it. These are the cricket bars.
Oswald Harris graduated from UC San Diego this year and wants to help slow climate change with his new protein-filled food made from crickets, which he says will feed more humans and reduce waste. It's still under development. MG Perez, KPBS News.
Beneath the surface off the coast of Southern California, you'll find a massive underwater dump site. KPBS environment reporter Eric Anderson shows us how local scientists are trying to learn more about the mess sitting on the ocean floor.
Researchers hope to find out just how dangerous the underwater habitat is near a notorious dump site in the San Pedro Basin. Underwater scans a year and a half ago revealed more than 27,000 decaying barrels on the ocean floor.
We're still trying to figure out how much DDT and related toxins were in those barrels and dumped in that barrel field. And that's one of the very first steps into understanding what the impact in terms of toxins is to our coastal environment.
Scientists used underwater drones to map more than 36,000 acres of the seafloor there. Researchers do not know how many of the barrels contain the dangerous chemical DDT or whether they held other toxic chemicals. Scientists want to know if the chemicals remain dangerous.
To what extent are they penetrating into the ecosystem, up to and including the creatures that we care a lot about, whether or not that's coastal fisheries or marine mammals or the fishing communities that rely on those marine resources.
The area was a chemical dumping ground in the 1930s, and shipping records from a disposal company say 2,000 barrels of DDT-laced sludge were dumped there every month for 15 years.
Is this DDT that's accumulating at these deep sites entering the marine food web at any level, specifically closest to where the dump site is?
Aluwahari hopes to develop fingerprints of the chemical contamination so it can be traced.
And the idea is, can we show this sort of making its way through the food web that's at the deep basin into the food web that we're more familiar with, where we might be catching fish or the dolphins and seals might be accessing.
The federal government is spending more than $5 million on a host of studies that could help scientists determine if the dump is best left alone or if it needs to be cleaned up. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
If you want to see the next generation of scientists, you might find them at Hoover High School. KPBS SciTech reporter Thomas Fudge shows us the work being done to mentor kids who might not otherwise pursue a future in STEM.
Careers in science and engineering are plentiful in San Diego, and some of these ninth graders at Hoover High are looking for a path to get there. Chloe Chen with the San Diego Workforce Partnership is a former teacher who says there are ways to inspire kids like this.
Having an adult in your life who can show you how useful it can be and how you can apply it, like I think these employees are doing today. And I think helping kids not to think in terms of I'm bad at a subject or good at a subject, but every subject is something that they can grow in.
STEM Day at Hoover High School tried to expose the kids to people who were not so different from them. Ninth grader Daniela Martinez said one of those Qualcomm employees was very inspiring.
She didn't come from a great school, and she just had to really motivate herself because everyone there just didn't really care. And she pushed herself. She said she kept trying,
even though she would fall at times.
The person Daniela spoke about was Olivia Carzales from Chicago, who now prototypes technology for cell phones and computers for Qualcomm.
My high school was very overpopulated and underfunded, and there was a lot of gang violence going on. So I always found it struggling to not give in to temptation with my peers of blowing off studying or blowing off assignments.
She says whenever she is concerned that she doesn't look like her peers or has a different background, she tries to push that out of her mind.
I never let it stop me from speaking my mind, from working hard, and facts are facts. My work is going to speak for itself, and I always let that overpower any sort of minority talk.
Camille Camejo is a software engineer for Qualcomm, originally from Connecticut. She says the adult in her life that drove and inspired her was her mother.
She would give me extra homework and tell my grandmother that I could not go outside and play until I finished the homework that she left and printed out. It was extra homework that my school did not even assign.
Camejo said she did not really think about the impact she would have just being present in a STEM career, but as an adult, she sees that she can inspire kids that look like her, and that made her want to speak to the kids at Hoover High School. Thomas Fudge, KPBS News.
A long march and a long wait paid off for California's farm workers this week in Sacramento. Kitty Alvarado has reaction to a moment union supporters won't soon forget and what it could mean for workers in San Diego.
What do you guys want to say?
Governor Gavin Newsom walked out of the Capitol and showed up to the makeshift camp where farm workers have been holding vigil for over a month. He signed AB 2183 that would allow them to unionize by simple mail or card check process. In August, the farm workers walked 335 miles to the Capitol. They've been there ever since, trying to get the governor to sign the bill. Among them, Xochitl Núñez.
We've been waiting for your visit.
Núñez says she can't believe he signed the bill, and she was there.
Oh, sí. Él me está... Es que yo le estoy diciendo... Thank you so much for your sign. Y es lo único que dije, you're welcome.
She says, I don't know a lot of English, but I was telling him I was thankful. It's something I'll never forget. He said, I remember you. I'll never forget his words.
Estoy soñando. Yo estoy soñando. No estaba soñando.
She says, I just felt a hug and it was like, am I dreaming? I'm dreaming. No, I'm not dreaming. The governor is here. Newsom had vetoed a similar bill before, and Al Staley, a farmer in Valley Center, says he doesn't understand what changed.
I'm very disappointed that he signed it after saying that he wouldn't support it in its current iteration. He vetoed virtually the same bill last year. Nothing changed.
There was one change. Newsom made a deal with union leaders to eliminate mail-in ballots next year.
Which was our fear all along. Now we're down to card check.
Staley says that gives the union an unfair advantage.
And if they get a simple majority to agree to sign that card, they are unionized without even talking to 100% of the employees.
He says he values his employees, many who've been with him for as long as he's been farming, and says he gives them regular raises and good benefits.
Just to be clear, I do not fear the unions unionizing my employees. I trust my employees to make the right decision, whether for themselves.
Núñez says fighting for this bill has been a sacrifice, one that has been paid with the blood, sweat, and tears of many farm workers who have been mistreated for generations.
Ya no es el sueño con el que yo me vine caminando el primer día.
She says it's no longer the dream I set off on that walk on that first day. Now it's a reality. It's a law. It's something beautiful. Kitty Alvarado, KPBS News.
We wrap up with another story tying into Hispanic Heritage Month. MG Perez went to the City College campus for a lesson on Lowrider Culture and its place here in San Diego.
How low can you go?
I don't think you can slide a penny under there. It's literally touching the asphalt.
Marcos Arellano is considered the king of car culture. His specialty is low riding.
Anybody can be a lowrider. You can start at any age but you have to have the passion for it.
This is his 1962 Chevy Impala convertible, sitting on 13-inch rims with plenty of chrome and customized components. He is here on the San Diego City College campus with some of his lowrider family showing off their cars. The Lowrider King is nicknamed Mr. Rabbit.
Today I'm Professor Rabbit.
Arellano is a guest lecturer today, invited to speak to students, an honor that surprised him.
You'll be giving a speech at a classroom in a college about lowriders. I'm like, yeah, right.
With a standing room only full house, he shared the history of cars born in the barrios, mostly hand-me-downs, designed by men from marginalized communities who used their imagination and mechanical skills. They created moving masterpieces. Unfortunately, society created stereotypes.
A lot of people hear the word lowrider, like, oh, the lowriders are coming. It's like, oh, that's horrible, that's bad. And I want to educate them. It's okay, come talk to me. Come ask me a question.
Arellano not only educates, he inspires. Deanna Garcia is one of San Diego's female lowriders.
It's not going to be something you do overnight. It's going to take years to accomplish, but that's the passion of it. It's something when it's done that you can show and let everybody in this world see who you are just through your car.
13-year-old Alonzo Delgado is nowhere near old enough to drive, but he's preparing for the day he will become a true lowrider.
It's going to be a 4-pump, 12 batteries, and Dayton spokes or wire wheels, and it's going to be a hardtop.
Would you like to get in it so you can see how it feels?
Mr. Rabbit got his nickname because of his buck teeth and ability to hop.
These are my switches.
Remember, he said, anyone can be a lowrider if they have the passion. MG Perez, KPBS News.
I just saw MG in the newsroom. I think he's still recovering. We hope you enjoyed this look at KPBS News this week. I'm John Carroll. Thank you for joining us.